What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bourbon Blind. I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick. The long lost Nick.
The long lost Nick. It's been a while, sir.
It has. What's up?
What is up?
Ready to drink some of your stuff.
Things.
You got things
So
on
actually, we're not drinking my stuff today. We're drinking Tommy's stuff.
free stuff is better than paid for stuff.
Tommy Minshew, owner of the Minshew Pour.
The Minshew Pour.
Yeah, the Minshew Pour. He sent us some samples and said, hey, I want to see you guys review these.
Yeah.
So
We have two samples.
Here we are. We do. So he actually sent us 4, and he said that 1 and 3 would probably go together, and 2 and 4. So this is 1 and 3. Right?
1 and 3, right?
1 and 3. Okay.
You may notice that my pours are a little bit heavier than his because we're recording this on my birthday. So Kyle's trying to get me drunk.
And lunch break.
Hashtag lunch break.
So, anyway.
Ooh.
I like
That's
that.
fancy.
It is. It's got a great color on it, too. Like, it is nice and dark.
Like caramel apples.
Mm-hmm. Fruit. Molasses.
Like a caramel red delicious, not like a Granny Smith.
Right.
Very little ethanol in the nose. There's some, but you can get pretty deep in
Yeah, I
it.
was going to say, you can get down in there, though. And
Like some burnt sugar.
there's almost like a leather to
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't...
Like not quite brand new leather, but like
No.
you've had a leather jacket and you've had it for a week, so it's still got some of that new leather smell, but
Right,
it's
like-
starting to break in a little bit.
More like oak barrel char, too.
Yeah, no, definitely that.
So...
A lot of dark, like less like burnt sugar and kind of molasses.
I am all in on.
Obviously.
If you can use dark to describe a whiskey, I like it.
The only thing it's missing for Kyle is cherries.
It is missing the cherries.
There might be some dark cherries in there. I don't know. I can't. They don't stand out
I'll
right
still
away.
get in here and find out. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Happy birthday, sir.
Appreciate you. Mmm.
So that is,
Different than the nose
yeah.
by a lot.
You do get like that oak and barrel char.
Yeah.
I'm going for another sip because that was like Mr. Toad's wild ride, man.
It's like you walk into the Doctor Who's TARDIS, and it's a phone box, and then you
Right.
go inside and it's a spaceship, and you're like, what?
So, one more time. So right up front, you get some of that molasses, baking spices,
Yep.
like nutmeg.
Like real strong spice.
Yeah. Not like a rye spice.
The first sip, I was like, Tommy sent me a fucking rye.
Like, I don't think it's a rye spice, but definitely like heavy baking spice.
No, I took like a really small second sip and a little bit bigger third sip, and it's spicy, but I don't get the rye like punch.
Right.
But the spices were so strong.
It's not like that dill minty flavor. But
No, the spices were so strong on the first sip that I was like, if this is a rye, I'm going to message Tommy right now.
So, for me, it does get a little bit drying on the very back end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it rolls into like oak and then into barrel char.
Right.
Like,
Make my lips tingle.
it feels good, huh?
It does.
So, all right. I'm going to leave some of that and go in. Ooh. Number 2 is way much sweeter.
Much more sweeters.
No, way much sweeter.
Way much sweeters.
The proper English is way much sweeters.
It's one eaches. Yeah, it's just like
It's
sugar.
more of like fresh caramel.
Mm-hmm. Fresh caramel. Maybe like brown sugar, but not caramelized sugar.
Right. Like the light brown sugar.
And you can get real deep in there. The lack of ethanol is there.
Is for real.
Yeah.
I would say this is darker. This is brighter.
Yeah.
Like more bright, more fresh, kind of.
Blinds are closed, blinds are open.
Right.
Off of the nose, I would almost say that this one's got more proof on it than this one.
More proof, more age.
Right.
Just on the nose.
I could be completely wrong. So Happened before. You can ask my wife.
True story.
She'll tell you
She
all
can tell
about
you
it.
every time, too.
Every detail.
Every time, every detail. Names, dates, colors, everything.
It's Tuesday, November 11th. It was slightly rainy, mostly cloudy. The low was 54. The high was 67.
And this motherfucker.
I had 2/3 of a gas tank.
All right.
So, just like the first one, the nose and the palate,
Very different.
not the same. It's real sweet.
That is interesting, though.
Yeah. No, not different in a bad way. Neither of them are different in a bad way.
No, not at all.
It just
But I almost, and I'm still like tasting it. I almost want to say like that's no bourbon I've ever tasted before.
it's super unique.
I'm getting a bit of water because I went to the other glass first. Try this on a little bit more fresher palate.
Much fresher. Most fresher.
So it starts off as like a candy sweetness,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes into like a different candy sweetness.
Right.
Like,
And then
it starts off sweet, then it gets more like a sharp. I don't want to say astringent because that has negative connotations.
right.
Like a more sharp sweetness, if that makes any sense at
Yeah.
all, because it's not making sense in my brain right now. Like that's
If y'all hear any background noise, it is evidently raining
a lot.
really.
For
Like
real.
it's doing the rain.
That is
And so the first one, all the tingling was on my upper lip. This one, it's like in my jaw.
so what it reminds me of, and I've never done this before, but I feel like that's what it would taste like, is if you mix like the Red Hot candies with Skittles. Like I get a little bit of that Red Hot in there, but it's not. It's like it's more sweet than that.
It's taken me a minute to wrap my head around that.
Never done it before, but that's what comes to my brain.
Just put them together. I can kind of see that from like across the field.
Mm,
I'm having a hard time.
describing this.
Right. There's
Like
a
it
lot
is-
of sweetness. There's almost no ethanol on nose or palate.
Mm-mm. Like I almost want to say a banana, but it's definitely not a banana.
The tingling
Like
has
it's-
moved.
Yeah,
It was in my jaw. Still got some on my jaw. Center of my top lip.
I was gonna say the roof of my mouth, but I don't. This is throwing me for a loop. I don't know how to describe this to you guys. Like
It's
it's
unique
it is.
in the best, weirdest way it could be.
Right.
Like, I would need a decent pour of that because it's going to take some time to put words to what that does.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like
And not like you'd need a good pour because you want to savor it. And you might, I don't know, but that's really strange, special,
all right. So I got
unique, all the things.
I got prices. I'm gonna taste this one just up.
I'm doing a thing.
Okay.
I think I
So-
mostly missed that one, but whatever.
Number one, I'd be in $70 to $80.
Okay.
Number three, $20 to $30. Like I just can't wrap my brain
So that's one with water.
around it. That's all sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Made
Really?
it much brighter.
Yeah, brought out a lot of lighter notes, almost like parsley,
Mm-hmm.
As like, not like it reminds you of parsley, but what parsley does to dishes. To like a dish, not like a plate.
I was thinking plates. I was like,
no,
I
to
have
a
no clue
meal.
where he's going with this, guys.
But like parsley brings in like a little bit of
Right.
like a brighter flavor almost.
Or like a cilantro
Right.
or basil.
Yeah.
Like, which I do love cilantro and basil, which is probably why I love pho. But yeah, like
So that's number one with the water.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yep. Don't do that.
It gets worse too.
It does. It does. Yeah. That's why I gave it to you, because I took a sip and I was like, I can't be the only one that suffers with this.
God.
So it does this weird thing that
Oh.
it starts out
do that.
the moment it hits your tongue, it's sweet.
Right.
And then it immediately turns into like this hateful thing.
The most bitter, hateful.
It turns like bitter and acidic, and just the longer it sits in your mouth, the worse it gets.
Oh,
So whatever that is, unless that's in your wheelhouse, unless you like IPAs
bitter.
and stuff like that would be a bourbon with water for people that love IPAs.
IPAs, yes. And I love
It hurts.
just about all beer. I
Never liked IPA.
I could do like a pale ale, like if it's not like crazy hoppy. I feel like IPAs have gotten to this point in the beer community. Like, let's see how much hops we can put in here. Like, we have to
and to have people be like, "This is so good."
we have to hop it like all the way throughout the brewing process, and then after it's brewed and we send it to the distillery or the brewery or the bar, we have to. They have like inline filters now
That just run hops
with hops in it that the beer runs through fresh hops going right before it hits your glass, and I'm like,
Wait,
guys,
you're
like that's not necessary.
You're serious? Like that's a thing?
Yes, that is.
No, stop it. Beer is more than hops. It needs to be more than just hops. Otherwise, it's not beer. It's just terrible. It's a can of garbage.
It's a can of hate.
Okay, so this is number 3 with water.
Why would you do that?
I'm curious. So the sweetness, the lightness on the nose has turned dark in some ways.
No, that is more bananas.
Right. So there's some bananas, but like a hot fudge banana sundae banana. It's like a banana with some darkness on it.
It is. Like a chocolate-covered hard candy banana.
Right.
Like candy banana, not fresh banana.
Even though the candy bananas are the flavor of actual bananas. But, well, that's another
They're
YouTube.
different.
That's another YouTube channel.
All right. So what are you thinking price-wise?
So I'm going to give my price without the water on that train wreck.
Obviously.
Without the water, I'm in the $60 to $70 range.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty comfortably. I'm going to do this one with the water.
And taste it without? Just recompare?
Sure. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do this one without the water.
It's crazy. Like, you taste it and you're like, okay. And then you taste it with the water, you're like, oh, that's better. And then you go back to the original, you're like, oh, shit.
It's like, if I just keep going back and forth, this will turn into like a Pappy or a George T. Stagg. I'm going to say like $55, $60. Like,
Okay.
while this is not, number 3 is not like the most mind-blowing bourbon I've ever had, the uniqueness
Right.
is so intriguing for me that I'd be willing to pay a little bit of a premium for that experience. Because
I feel like that's something craft.
probably.
And I have no
But, like,
real basis for it, but that is not
that would be
textbook
something you could absolutely send somebody for a loop with.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody comes to your house and is like, oh, Oh, I've had all those bourbons. Oh, have you? Let me show you something.
Okay. I'll do number 1.
I've got number 3. You do number 1 first.
Okay. It is 15-year-old Knob Creek store pick. $44.99, 120 proof.
Good on you, Knob Creek.
Not mad at that one bit.
It was good, except with water. It was not good with water.
It got hateful.
Yeah, it was that. It turned into an actual 15-year-old.
Right.
All right, so number 3.
Okay.
Can I get a drum roll? Chattanooga Cask Strength 110 proof, $34.99.
Wow.
What?
Okay, so
what?
The Chattanooga Cask Strength stuff, I don't think
fantastic. It's normally really good.
Newer 110 proof.
Right.
Before it was fantastic, and still I would say at 110 proof for
it did not drink like 110.
No,
not even close.
Mm-mm.
It drank like mid 90s at best.
Yeah, maybe 100, but yeah, like that's for $35. I'd probably still pick that up.
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
Yeah.
I have a couple of bottles of Chattanooga stuff, and it's all really good.
Chattanooga does some awesome stuff. Yeah. They really do.
Their beer barrel finish stuff, so good.
Mm-hmm.
I sent Tommy a sample of their Mexican hot chocolate stout, beer barrel finished, and he loved it. And I was like, I know, because it's good.
Right.
Obviously.
I have a couple of the beer barrel finished in there, and they're all
awesome. So the cool thing about their beer barrel finish is that they do all local beer breweries, and they only do each expression one time.
Right.
So every time you go get one, obviously if you go back like a week later, it's probably going to be the same one, but everything's going to be a little bit different.
Every time they release one, it's a different
expression.
Beer.
Right.
Like it may be the same brewery, but it's a different beer.
The downside is that if you find one that you like, you need to be on the ball getting another one. Getting a couple more. Right.
Yep.
Both of those are mind-blowing.
I honestly feel like after I went and tasted it, and I didn't want to say anything, like after I went and tasted it again, that last little sip, that I was like, I may pay more for that.
It's too late to go back now.
I'm locked in.
No, you locked in at $20.
I said 20 to 30.
Okay, so you said 20 to 30.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at that. That was weird though. My cask strength does not taste like that.
I could have never in a million years told you what either one of these were. I would have never guessed.
If I'm not mistaken, the Chattanooga cask strength is MGP stuff.
MGP juice, yeah.
I could be wrong. They may have switched over to their own. I don't know for sure. But
whatever Chattanooga's doing, they need to keep it up because they put out some really cool stuff.
For real.
Their stuff's really good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Legitimately.
And they're not that far from us.
Right now in the market, the Knob Creek store picks, 15-year Knob Creek
45
at 120 proof for $45. Guys.
What?
People pay $1,000 for 15-year-old Pappy because it says Pappy on it. For 15-year-old.
$45.
Yeah.
Just don't add water to it and you'll be golden.
This is not rocket science. This isn't hard.
No, we're not rocket scientists here.
We are definitely not. Yeah, guys, there's so much good whiskey out there. You don't have to go after the highly allocated crap.
There's so much really good stuff for under $50 a bottle after tax.
Yeah.
In most places. Some places their taxes are insane.
If you wanted to spend 60 to 70, you get a really, really nice bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, under $50, you can get some really good stuff all day long.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because people from like the Scotch community come over and they're like, "Oh, if it's under $50, I don't even buy it because it's trash." And
wrong.
You are missing out on something.
Let me show you some
whiskey.
Heaven Hill Green Label and Evan Williams bottled in bond that are $12 a bottle.
Right. JW Dant for $15.
Right. Or
Wild Turkey 101.
Right. Weller SR
Roses.
at retail.
Four Roses, small batch and single barrel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$30 and $40.
Right.
Eagle Rare, $35, $40.
Right. An Eagle Rare 10-year
Elijah Craig.
Yeah. The regular off-the-shelf, bottom of the line Elijah Craig stuff is really good.
Yeah.
And you can find it pretty much anywhere for that $20 to $30 range.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. But no, like stuff like that shows you that just because it's inexpensive doesn't mean it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because inexpensive and cheap are two very different things.
I'm going to go off on a quick rant here.
Buckle up, guys.
If you guys think whiskey is expensive to make, okay, and you have to buy $100, $200, God forbid more, bottle of whiskey to have a good bottle of whiskey, first of all, you're missing out on some fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Second, you can go get, when it's available, I know not everywhere in all 50 states, blah, 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 but the Old Ezra 7-year barrel proof. Okay. This stuff right here, right, is 7 years old, barrel proof. It's a 117. And this is an independent bottler. It's from Lux Row. They do not have 7-year-old juice yet. They just opened up their own distillery. Good on them. But this is from, allegedly, Heaven Hill. Okay. So they're buying this from someone else. They're a middleman. And it's 7 years old, barrel proof. I picked up this bottle for $28 on the shelf. Going through a third-party middleman.
Which means you're paying two companies to do the work.
Right. And that's 7 years old, barrel proof, and they can manage to put it on the shelf for $28, which means
it's gone from
probably bought it at $23, $24 because they don't have a whole lot of margin, which means the wholesaler probably got them for around $20 to $22. And they're still making a profit on it, and the Heaven Hill is still making a profit on it.
Right. So it's gone from Heaven Hill to Lux Row to the distributor, potentially in a different state.
Right.
To the liquor store, to your house for $30.
Yeah.
For under $30.
For a 7-year-old product,
right.
not cut with water.
Which means that's been sitting somewhere on a shelf, in a rack, whatever, for 7 years after being distilled.
Mm-hmm.
7 years sitting there, not making them a dime.
Right.
And it's still under $30 before tax.
Right. So, if you think that whiskey is expensive and, like I said, you have to spend a lot of money to get a good bottle, you don't. That being said, I look on the back wall, I have spent my share of more than of $150 to $200 bottles.
Walking Dead, $15. Good.
Yeah. And say what you will, I know it says Walking Dead on it.
This stuff's good.
That is a 4-year-old Kentucky bourbon.
Right. It's good.
There's literally nothing wrong with that.
And then the Old Forester 1920.
$65. And it is one of the most overlooked bourbons sitting on your shelf.
Right. You've got a Rebel Yell 10-year single barrel that was like $65, I think.
60 to 70, yeah.
Right. That like a 10-year single barrel. Are you kidding? Right.
We did just like the Pappies.
Right.
And I have, 4-Gate and Old Charter and whatever else.
Angel's Envy Rye and.
But those are $150, $200 bottles.
But
are they good? Yeah.
Dickel Bottled and Bond.
$40 for a 13-year 100 proof bottled and bond whiskey. That's.
It just be willing to explore what's on the shelf.
That's all I'm saying. I see some people's collections and they are nothing but high dollar and allocated bottles.
And if that's what they like, fine. But
cool.
Just be willing to explore. Don't assume that just because it's a $12 or $15 bottle that it's going to taste like an armpit after the gym.
Right.
Because most of them do. Some of them do. I've also had far more expensive bottles taste worse.
Yeah, for sure. And especially if you can get something bottled and bond in that $10 to $20 price range, $25 price range, it's probably going to be pretty damn good.
Well, realistically, if you can get into anything bottled and bond for under $50, minimum 4-year-old 100 proof for under $50,
yeah,
all day long.
When there are some places, I won't name names, selling 1 year old or even sometimes 6 months old barrels in a nice bottle for $100 on the shelf. Why?
Aged for at least 6 months.
Why is this a thing?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if it hasn't been in the barrel for more than 18 months, I'm good.
Yeah. At that point, honestly, I would rather drink straight moonshine, white dog, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I would much rather drink that because
I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, and usually, like...
I know it's not going to be really good, but it's going to wreck me.
Right. But, like, I feel like the white dog, like, it is what it is.
Right. You know what you're getting when you get white dog.
Right. However, like, within that, like, 6 to 12 month period, I feel like it goes downhill, and then after, like, the 2-3 year mark, it starts going back
unless you're in Texas. Because Texas is a different thing.
Right.
Texas is a religion. I lived there for a couple of years. It is, in fact, a religion.
So,
in case you didn't know, Texas, after the U.S., the pledge, they say a pledge to the Texas flag.
That's not surprising.
Not surprising. No other state does that. Texas, stop it.
So, guys, end of rant. You don't have to spend a ton of money on whiskey to make it good. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's good. Because it's inexpensive doesn't mean it's good. I'm just saying explore your options. You don't have to buy a $200 bottle for it to be good.
I've spent $30 on a bottle and enjoyed it far more than something I spent $75 on.
Absolutely.
Which was disappointing for me, but it is what it is.
So anyway, guys, thank you if you made it this far. Like, bravo to you.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. We really kind of took a hard right and just sailed on. Did full send.
Full send into
I don't even know what.
Right.
But we went there.
It was that land.
Yeah, we went. We turned right and then just went straight on till morning like Peter Pan. So that's a thing that happens with us.
Anyway, appreciate all you guys. Like I said, if you made it this far, bravo. And we will see you Friday, noon Central next week. Cheers. Drink blind.
Drink because it's my birthday.
Not by the time they see this.
Doesn't matter.
Those were good. We want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreon people. Absolutely thank you. You guys are freaking magical. T-shirts at Teespring, link in the description.
Also, thank you to anyone who has ever supported us, whether that's either coming on a live, chit-chatting with us on a Thursday night, or if you just like to watch our episodes, we appreciate every one of you.
Until Friday, noon Central next week, cheers.